All right, hello everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. No, let me adjust my camera. I just came from the gym, so this thing can yeah, let's zoom in a bit. There we go. That looks better. Welcome, welcome. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and like. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the bell button. Let me slow down right quick. Class is supposed to start since 7 o'clock, but let's go ahead and get right to it. There's a lot that I want to cover on the chart, and the first thing I want to kind of break down is the responses that we're getting on tickers like NQ, especially that we're bouncing off that 28,750. I think they're trying to go ahead and recover and get back inside of this fair value gap that's over here. But the struggle that they're going to have trying to get up there, I think there's a lot of selling pressure over here. We're probably going to need a catalyst of some sort to kind of push us. I got some downward trend lines that I put here, and these downward trend lines, we've affected a few of them. They actually knocked out this pivot, but the question is, was this a new pivot to go down to below a lot lower? We're probably going to have to figure that out a little bit later. Let's look at the EMAs real quick on a 15-minute, and you can kind of see we are consolidating relatively heavily. So we're going to have to see how that relatively works overall. Another one is over here at ES, and the way ES is operating, it kind of looks similar, but I think they pushed this down a little bit further than the one with NQ, and I think they broke a key structure. We did touch the 13 EMA, and we kind of pushed right back up, so which was a target that I was looking at. If we put it on the Keltner channel, we're probably going to get a little bit of a sense we're back inside of it on a daily. So I think there's some aspects where we probably could continue to the downside, maybe the center pivot, but I think they're going to try to hold it up here so that way this bullish order block and fair value gap holds up. All right, a couple things I want to go ahead and cover. Over at OEOS, it looks like we got quite a bit of things. Let me bring this down so we can do this the right way. A couple of things that I want to kind of bring up over here, and it's looking at CCJ. Nope. Let's get that CCJ. CCJ on the daily. I'm gonna put the Keltner channel off for like 2 seconds. We had a very interesting drop here, right? And we've been dropping for a while. If you don't know who CCJ is, for all the AI infrastructures and everything else, we're probably gonna have to deal with nuclear and everything else, and that's where CCJ come in. They're the ones that kind of enriches and everything else, so that way we can provide all of that uranium and mining. So look for CCJ for possibly a bounce here because it's showing bullish sentiment here. So I think we're probably going to do something that looks similar to that. Let's come down to a 30-minute and see what's going on here. Yeah, so I think they want to get up in that 104 level, and then we could get into these areas. We are at a very pivotal pivot point. If you remember, we was down here somewhere around March, and then this April run, other than this whole pullback in May, was built off of this area. So if this thing holds, look for CCJ to probably give yourself another bounce. Going to be a little choppy after 107. This is an old setup there. But yeah, I would like to see this over like around 110. So we'll see how that goes. The next one that I have, it is Yum Brands. If you don't know who Yum Brands is, that is the one that has your KFC and a whole bunch of other stuff that you probably don't even eat anymore. Well, that's kind of like me. I'm an 80s baby. But this bad boy kind of looks like something like this. Let's come over to the 30-minute. We'll get a little bit of a sense, and you can kind of see we're trying to get above that 153. Got a couple of imbalances here. Could we get back up into this wick at 163? That's a possibility. Let's look at that daily again. Possibly a good pivot area here. We did kind of push up from January 2026 up to this level, and you can kind of see we're looking for that 159 and 72 cents, 74 cents to get up in that area. This can be a bear flag though. That's the tricky part about it. It's at the bottom of its base. You know what? Let me come up to a weekly. Let me see something. Still kind of bullish on the weekly. This is a very deep order block here. Let me go ahead and mark this off for y'all. It's something that looks a lot like that. And let me put this here. Kind of something like that. So if they use this top of this order block, now be patient. If it kind of sweeps into here, we're probably going to go lower. But if we don't get into here, this is probably going to be our bounce and then continue to this upside. So it's going to be very interesting on how they treat this daily. They might bear flag this, trap the bears here, and use that liquidity to get back above 153 and that will give us that momentum. So look for possible sweeps, especially they got dividends that's going to pay out on the 27th. All right, what else I got for y'all? That's Yum Brands. Nokia. I know some people, excuse me, I got to get myself something to drink. So Nokia, I don't like the spot, but it's a very strong possibility because they tried a couple of times. There was a time where they tried to push up from here and then try to push up from here, but it looked like they are struggling because this is a very tough area. I want to say I marked this off on the 3-month. Can't remember exactly. I think it was the 3-month. But yeah, so you can kind of see this is a tough area. We've sold off of this level multiple times. If this thing can have a nice little base here, we probably could go ahead and push up into that area and give ourselves a very strong move to the upside. Probably even push up all the way past here and start thinking out some of these imbalances. Now Nokia is expanding their portfolio as far as the products that they provide, kind of like what BlackBerry is doing, and everybody got that title AI somewhere inside of their talking points during earnings. CP, this one is Canadian Pacific. This one, it's more of a share play. I'm keeping my eye on this because I'm very curious about it, but today it kind of created this type of action, and we did this numerous times. I don't think they want to let this drop. I'm looking for this to break $89 and probably even test to get back up into that 91 and maybe even get to 100. So just keep an eye on this one. Now, I know, right? They missed the earnings, but when I see small missed earnings, I think this is just a whole bunch of knee-jerk reaction and people are just panicking. So we'll see how that goes. But that is what I have for y'all over there in the YouTube space. So that said, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the bell button. Send it to your friends and family. We're going to go ahead and get into the chart. And if you want to be part of the crew, go ahead and DM me or click inside and go ahead and sign up for Discord. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. You have a wonderful evening. Later, y'all.